workaholic for Disney.
The merger of Pixar Animation Studios and the Walt Disney Animation Studios. And today, I'm so glad to be here to show you some of the amazing new things that we've got coming from both studios. We brought all the filmmakers with us as well, and it's just going to be an amazing presentation. I know you see some cool stuff, but what do you see what we've got to show you? The first thing that I'm so excited to talk about is just what you saw. Toy Story and Toy Story 2, we have produced those in 3D. I mean, from my concern, we've always made 3D films at Pixar. The theaters have finally caught up to us. And so we got Toy Story and Toy Story 2 coming out. It's a double feature in 3D. And as you saw that opening, when we've been working on it at the studio, I just keep getting blown away. And that opening to me was so exciting because, you know, we didn't touch a thing. In either of these movies, it's exactly what you saw. We just produced the other eye view of it, and I was just amazed at how cool that looked in 3D. And we're so excited about it because, you know, Toy Story came out in 1995. Think about how many kids have been born since that came out. And all they know is our movies on DVD, home video, right? These films were made to be seen on a big screen, and we're so excited to be able to bring these films back to the big screen for everybody. And it is so good because everybody pronounces him Leon Critch. It's not Leon Critch, it's Lee Unkrich. And so Lee was the editor on Toy Story. He's been a part of the creative team from the very beginning. He co-directed Toy Story 2 with me. He's co-directed Finding Nemo and Monsters Incorporated as well. He's one of the key creative members at Pixar, and this is his first time he's the full director, and I'm entrusted the best to creating Toy Story 3 for Pixar and for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring out Lee Unkrich. Lee, welcome.
Hey, thank you. My name's actually Leon Critch, and people think I'm saying Lee Unkrich.
I know, Leon Critch. There's a little gag we put at the end of Toy Story 2. When you see it, if you've seen it, at the airport when the bad guy, the prospector, gets put into the little girl's backpack and she gets taken off, you hear over the paging system at the airport, "Passenger Critch, passenger Leon Critch." So that's because everybody thinks he's Leon.
And
Leon.
Now the world knows. Thank you.
Leon, why don't you go ahead and tell us about...
I'm super excited to be here. We've been working on Toy Story 3 for a long time already. We've actually been working on it for about 3 years. And we're in the home stretch now. We've got about 10 months to go. We've done, over 80,000 storyboards on the movie. We've recorded the entire voice cast. We've got about a quarter of the film animated, and we're hustling now to finish it. It's looking really fantastic, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it in June. About 3 years ago, we decided to make Toy Story 3, and John and I, and Andrew Stanton, and Bob Peterson, Jeff Pigeon, a bunch of the guys who came up with the original, Pete Doctor, who came up with the original Toy Story, we went away to this cabin retreat, where the idea for the first Toy Story had been brewed, and we locked ourselves away for a few days to try to come up with the idea for Toy Story 3. And it was really fantastic having all the original people back there wrapping their heads around it. And it was really hard to come up with an idea for Toy Story 3. We banged our heads against the walls for a while, and we watched the first two films, and we were completely intimidated because we loved those two movies as much as I know a lot of you guys do. And it was this really daunting task to try to come up with a third. So we thought long and hard about it. And what we finally realized was, at the end of Toy Story 2, Buzz and Woody especially, has made his peace with the fact that Andy's going to grow up someday. But we thought it's one thing to make peace with something, and it's another thing to find yourself at that day. So that was the point where we realized that in Toy Story 3, we needed to have Andy grown up and just about to head off to college, that day that all the toys were really worried about. We knew it was the perfect place to start the movie.
One of the things that's so important in all the Pixar films is not only to make it funny and to make it beautiful, but also the emotion. Walt Disney always said for every laugh there should be a tear, and it's a kind of a foundation of what we do is that heart. And you know, creating Toy Story, you have this story, which is certain growth that what he goes through. And Toy Story 2, he said we can't have him get amnesia and relearn the same lesson, so we have to come up with something new. And so for Toy Story 3, it's a totally different emotional core that this movie has, and we're really excited.
Really excited, because the last thing we wanted to do was just have the toys off having some new adventure. We knew that there had to be, as John said, a really strong emotional core, and we really believe we found it. We made a very emotional but very entertaining and exciting and funny movie. I wish I could tell you more about it, but I don't want to get fired here today at Comic-Con. Everybody's back. Woody's back. Buzz, as you saw, Rex and Ham and Jesse, the whole gang's back. And we have the entire voice cast back. As I said, I've been working with all of them. Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, John Ratzenberger, Stella Harris, Don Rickles, the whole gang is back. Barbie, who made kind of a small appearance in Toy Story 2, is back in Toy Story 3 in a much larger role. And we knew we couldn't have Barbie back without having Ken. So Ken will be making his big screen debut in Toy Story 3, and I'm proud to announce today at Comic-Con for the first time officially that Ken will be voiced by the fantastic Michael Keaton. We had worked with Michael back on Cars.
Yeah, he was the voice of Chick Hicks, the bad guy.
And he was such a blast to work with. He's so funny. And I'll tell you, after you see him playing Ken, you won't be able to imagine anybody else playing this part. He was born to play Ken. So to properly introduce you to Ken, we have dug up some never-before-seen footage of an interview that Ken gave several years ago. You want to take your 3D glasses off. This was kind of pre-modern 3D technology.
We started a shorts program. We believe in the animated short. As you've probably seen on the beginning of every Pixar film, we love these shorts. They're there for us to help develop talent at our studios, also to help develop technology. One of the first shorts that was pitched to me by Chris Williams, who was the writer-director on Bolt, last year's Bolt, it was a story, it was a Christmas story. And I loved it so much. It was such a fresh take on the whole Christmas idea that I thought there could be something more to this. So I went next door. The Walt Disney Animation Studios right next door to ABC. So I went over, and I know a bunch of the people over there. Went to my friends, and I said, what about doing an original Walt Disney animated Christmas special for ABC? And they said, great. And so we are producing. It will be coming out on ABC television this Christmas. It's an original Christmas special. I love Christmas specials. I grew up with, the Grinch and, all those great Christmas specials, and I think this thing is going to be fantastic. It's a story. It's called Prep and Landing. Now, what you didn't realize is that Santa has an elite group of elves that come covertly into every home and prepare each home for the big guy's arrival. Completely covertly, you don't realize they're there. And that's what this story is about. And I want to show you the beginning of this film. We're just finishing production on it, but this is the world premiere. No one has even seen anything of this. You guys are the first. So this is the very beginning of Prep and Landing coming to ABC this holiday season.